The devastation continues from wildfires raging in LA County, so we want to start Hot Topics by finding out everything being done to keep people safe and to get this all under control. Because when you see these pictures, brace yourself.
Brutal.
Please welcome, live from LA, ABC News Chief National Correspondent Matt Gutman. Good morning, Matt.
Uh-oh.
Hello, Matt. Can you hear? Yeah.
Yes.
So are you still in the Palisades?
I got you, Whoopi.
Okay, cool. Are you still in the Palisades?
We are. We're just off Sunset Boulevard here, and I'm going to have our truck go ahead, Chris. I want to give you a sense of the destruction here, though the mind can't really comprehend the scale of it. So this is a 3-story condominium building that backs up into Sunset, which is, you know, the major strip that goes through most of Los Angeles and one of the most coveted and prized enclaves in the whole country, right? Everything here is destroyed. It's just a jumble of, you know, bathtubs and appliances. It backs up into the stores, the famous stores of Pacific Palisades, Sunset Boulevard, which are also destroyed. And I want to show you something else. I'm going to switch sides here and show you the houses. This goes on for block after block, all the way up the hill, all the way to the east, and across the street as well. The destruction here is really impossible to comprehend, and firefighters are telling us that it's going to take them days just to count the number of homes and businesses that have been destroyed here, and it's going to take them weeks when turn around again to put out hot spots like the one you see behind me. You can see that smoldering in the rubble there. They've got to put all of those out lest new wind kicks up, another wind event comes and triggers additional fires here in LA County. Whoopi.
Where are you in terms of where Gelson's was?
So I'm 2 blocks, if we're getting into the particulars of the Palisades geography, I'm 2 blocks north of it on Via de la Paz.
Okay.
Whoopi.
Yeah, I was asking because I lived
on the
there
other side,
forever.
next to the gas station.
Yeah.
That's a supermarket, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Matt, you've covered disaster zones.
That's the supermarket.
Yes. You've covered disaster zones many times in your career, but tell us what this one is like compared to the others. It looks worse to me than any I've seen, but what do you say?
I think we all feel the same way, Joy. It's, you know, the scale of this is hard to comprehend. It is so vast, and going through it on the first day and then the second day when it was still covered with this pall of smoke, you know, we couldn't really assess what was going on, but every new neighborhood we saw was destroyed. I think in terms of deaths and injuries, the most important thing, though, that has remained very minimal. There have been 5 deaths in the Eaton fire, which is about 30 miles east of here near Pasadena. There have been injuries there, injuries here, but so far we understand there have been no confirmed fatalities, which is the most important part. But and I think you kind of mentioned it earlier, the fear that pervaded all of LA County because of that massive wind event that catalyzed this fire. Winds of up to 100 miles an hour just swirling around, being erratic, impossible to contain, picking up one spark and setting off a fire. Millions of people were in the path of that and afraid that at any moment their neighborhood could spark on fire. In fact, the first day that I covered this fire, I went back home, and 300 yards from my home, I encountered a wildfire. It was put out, thankfully, but my kids were afraid, and I, like many, many hundreds of thousands of other people, told my family, we have to get a go bag ready right now. We've got to have her prepared by the door, because you really don't know at this point.
Matt, so over 100,000 people are under evacuation orders, and as you mentioned, we know at least 5 people have lost their lives. Firefighters have been working around the clock. Can you talk to us about what they're up against? The winds seem to be kind of the most dangerous aspect of this.
Yeah, I will. Listen, I'm going to have my cameraman jump down from the van. He was kind of leaning over, poor guy. The biggest concern, as you said, is the winds, and it has been. But right now, I mean, you can tell, look at those trees. They're pretty crisp from being burned, but it's very still out here. That's really important news. But firefighters and the National Weather Service are predicting an additional wind event, red flag warnings again tonight into tomorrow afternoon. So right now, it's all hands on deck for the fire departments from across wherever who are surging here to try to make hay while they can, try to put out any fires that they can before that wind kicks up again and triggers new fires. And again, we don't know where that's going to be, how far away it is, but we do know that there are still millions of people who are threatened by this. In fact, just late last night, a new fire erupted in the Hollywood Hills, just really close to Hollywood Boulevard. And that scared a lot of people. They were able to get a handle on it pretty quickly, but not before thousands of people were evacuated.
Hi, Matt. It's Sunny. Experts are calling this the most destructive fire in all of LA history. We understand that about 2,000 buildings have been lost, including homes, businesses, different structures. You've spoken to firefighters on the ground. What are you hearing from them?
They also are surprised. You know, a lot of these firefighters are veterans, Sonny, and they've been here for 25, 30 years. And they all say, we haven't seen anything like this. The way the fire moved, how erratic it was, they couldn't get ahead of it. The winds were so ferocious that it was carrying embers hundreds of yards or even 1.5 miles ahead of the actual fire. So they had no idea where to go, where to be, which is extremely challenging. Today, with the winds subsiding, it's going to help them out. But in terms of destruction, we're hearing numbers of many tens of billions. Somebody put out 57 billion. It could be higher than that. And remember, this is one of the priciest enclaves in the country.
Well, Matt, in the past, we've seen fires able to be contained more quickly, which hasn't been possible here. Is there a sense of how long firefighters expect this to go on?
They think that they're going to be just here in the Palisades for a number of weeks. They don't know how many, but they know that there are going to be hot spots embedded in roots of trees like that. We can't see it, but I can feel the heat emanating from this house, which actually happens to be my aunt's house, who lost everything here. Like so many people actually in this part of LA, I know multiple people who lost their homes in this fire. Now, almost everybody who lives on the western side of LA and West LA knows someone who lost something or has been evacuated. But yeah, they're going to be here for a long time putting this out. And, you know, we have no idea how difficult the insurance process is going to be and rebuilding and what, in fact, they can rebuild from this community, which is truly devastated beyond recognition.
As you mentioned, Matt, you live in the area nearby. How are you doing, and how is your family right now?
Yeah, my aunt is struggling, Sarah. You know, it's been really hard for the family, but I think a lot of people, which is really interesting, have the same response, which is like, I'm okay. She was actually away when it happened. We're happy that nobody was killed, that nobody was trapped in these homes that you see all the way up the hill. But there is a real fear across Los Angeles in a way that I've never experienced in 10 years of covering wildfires out in the West and other parts of the world, where so many people in such a densely populated place. And remember, Los Angeles County is the most populated county in the country, and you had the most ferocious wind event in almost 15 years, pounding right through it just as we are in peak dryness here without any significant rain since August. It was just, you know, the perfect storm of confluence of events that created this, and people were afraid, which is one of the reasons that they have actually been heeding evacuation orders up and down Los Angeles County. People have been jumping out into their cars and getting out of here as quickly as they can, which is one of the reasons, I don't know if you saw that, but we saw these, and we were in it, these epic gridlock traffic jams of people all converging right here onto Sunset Boulevard, which you can just see down on the corner there near that white van, and clogging it up, which is why firefighters and bulldozers had to come in and just shove them out of the way so firefighters could get in here to fight these fires.
This is, we've never seen anything like this. It's, you know, the fact that there were 50 million fires at one time happening at the same time, they were having to make immediate decisions about what to put out and how to do it and how to get it. This, and we're thankful that people didn't do what they usually do in these kind of situations and say, oh, I'm just gonna wait.
Yeah.
People didn't wait, and thank goodness they did, and I'm sure that's what help keep the deaths down. So Matt, thank you, and much love and respect to you and your family, because we know you'll be dealing with this for a while. Matt Gutman, stay safe, and everyone watching can go to our website to find out how to help with disaster relief efforts. They're gonna need a lot of help, and don't let people get you all whipped up, oh, these are rich people. These are people. Yeah. These are human beings who have lost everything. Yeah. Everything. So please, let's see them as our fellow human beings and do what we can to help.